Ooh, nice hot cup of joe to start the video. YouTube, how we doing? You know, I was thinking the other day, I need something to call you guys. I need a little name for my community here. And I'm torn between a couple of things, but I'm thinking goblins. Here, let's try this on for size. What up, my goblins? Oh, shit. Yeah, that kind of goes hard. Listen, we don't have to think about it right now. You know, leave a comment. What do you want me to call you guys? What do you think would be a good name for you? Let's get to the point of the video. Today, I am talking about my October reads. This is a wrap-up of everything that I have read in October. Wow, we're gonna go from, not in the order I read them, but in the order that I liked them. So we'll start off with the ones that I did not like, and then the ones that I really liked at the end. So with that being said, I read a total of 5 books this month. Well, kind of 4. 4.5. I DNF'd this first book that we're going to talk about. Osamu Dazai's No Longer Human. This is bad. Stinky, stinky, poo-poo, doo-doo book. I did not enjoy this like I thought I would. The reason I bought this in the first place was because a couple of years ago, I saw PewDiePie talk about this in one of his book videos. And I was like, oh man, that sounds really interesting. I got 50 pages in, and I was... I'm glad I DNF'd it. I don't think I could have gotten through the whole thing. I ended up DNFing at a point where the main character is talking about cleaning his friend's, like, gross infected ear for some reason. I don't know, man. But the premise of the book, well, first, this was Osamu Dazai's last book he wrote before he committed Sudoku, we'll say. But I think this is kind of, it's not really a biography, but I think he uses his life experience to write this book. The main character is so depressed that he just doesn't feel human anymore. Kind of just like goes through his life, but I don't know. Super boring. 1 star. I DNF'd it. I'm probably gonna end up de-hauling this. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Book is ass. Everything else I liked this month. That's great. Next book is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I like this book. I just didn't love it. The summary of this book is Louis Creed and his wife, 2 kids, and cat move into rural Maine, and it's this big giant house that they live in on a very busy road with trucks going by all the time. And behind the house in the woods is a pet cemetery where pets that have been run over by the trucks on the road have been buried. I really did like the premise of the story. It was thoroughly spooky, how the characters deal with their grief in this book. But what I didn't like, and I don't know if this was just the characters that were written this way, or if it's Stephen King's writing in general, but I feel like it was very ranty at points. The characters or the narrator would just talk about shit that didn't matter for way too long. And I ended up kind of like skimming over these parts. There's this one part, specifically I remember, where Judd, the old man across the road, is recounting something that happened back in the 1940s. There's this part where he describes the train that they rode into town for like 2 pages, bro. Move on. I get it. It's a fucking train. I don't know, man. I ended up giving this 3.5 stars because I do like the characters. I do like the way this book does talk about grief. It is very spooky. I'm willing to read more Stephen King books. Like, I like the book. I don't know. We'll see. Next, we will talk about Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. Yeah, this is the book that I was least excited to read on my TBR for this month, but it ended up being kind of a banger, dude. A little summary for you. There's this super rich guy who figures out how to clone dinosaurs, and he decides to buy an island and make an amusement park out of the dinosaurs that he clones. Shit goes crazy. The dinosaurs escape. It is very different from the movie, I will say. This is a lot gorier and describes the attacks in pretty good detail. Also, there are characters in this book that share different fates from characters in the movies. Oh, sorry, I just popped in my microphone. It was kind of refreshing to like read a story that I kind of know already, but it's different. I ended up giving this 4 stars. I really liked it. Next up was a book that I was actually excited to start reading, The Witcher: The Last Wish. This is the first publicized Witcher book, which I didn't know. It is a bunch of short stories, but they kind of like weave together for like an overarching plot. The story follows a man named Geralt, who is a witcher, and what a witcher is it's somebody who, it's kind of like a bounty hunter, but for monsters. He gets hired by people to dispatch of local monsters in the area. Being a witcher is not something anybody else can do. There's like a whole backstory on it. I was excited to read it because I'm such a huge fan of the games. The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, and it was really fun reading the stories that I've heard about in the games or experienced in the games in this book. That was really fun. I also picked up the next book in the series, and I'm super stoked about that, but I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book we are going to talk about is actually the one that I like the most, surprisingly, and it was Fantastic Land by Mike Bakoven. This book is crazy, dude. After every single chapter, I would just say, damn, that was fucked up. Because everything in this book is super fucked up. The premise of the book is a whole bunch of employees have stayed back during a hurricane to protect a park from various things like thieves and whatnot. And they end up getting stuck in the park for 3 months or something when they should have only been there for 3 days. It starts turning into kind of like a free-for-all where they form tribes and they start killing each other and doing whatever they can for supplies and just trying to live. This book is gory. There's a lot of body gore in this, and some parts actually had me like spooked. Also, it's really fun reading through this because it's written in a way where it's like somebody is interviewing the people that survived the park and they're retelling their experience through the park. I think that was a really interesting way to write it as well, but I ended up giving this 5 stars. This is a 5-star absolute certified banger. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you checking this video out all the way to the end. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Down below, tell me what you guys thought about these books. Give me your ratings if you've read them. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye guys. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.